in the small town of Willow Creek, nestled among the rolling hills of Northern California. My name is Ethan Carter. I'm 14 years old, living a life filled with silent struggles. Willow Creek is a picturesque place with oak-shaded streets and a quaint main square. But for me, it's a world of unspoken battles. Born with a congenital heart defect, my life has always been a delicate balance of doctor visits, medications, and the constant fear that my heart could betray me at any moment. My mother, Sarah Carter, raised me alone in a modest apartment at 142 Oak Street, apartment 3B. After my father passed away when I was just 4, money was always tight, and my mother worked long hours at the local grocery store to keep us going. I attended Willow Creek Middle School at 305 Maple Avenue, just a short walk from home. The school was an old brick building, its walls draped in ivy, an ideal place for learning and friendship. But for me, it was a daily challenge. A group of 7th graders, led by a big kid named Derek, had chosen me as their target. They called me weak heart, mocked my pale skin and thin frame. They shoved me in the hallways, knocked my books to the ground, or whispered cruel things during lunch. I was smaller than my age and always cautious with my health, never fighting back. I didn't want any conflict that could put my weak heart at risk. More than that, I didn't want to worry my mother. She was already exhausted and I knew it. So I learned early on to keep everything inside. Every day I walked the half-mile to school, my backpack heavy with books and my heart heavier still. I would often stop beneath the old oak tree on the corner of Maple and Elm to catch my breath, feeling the feeble beat of my heart reminding me of my limits. Derek and his friends usually waited after school, following me partway home, taunting me until they grew bored. I clenched my fists, face flushed with anger, but said nothing. At home, I smiled for my mother, helped her wash dishes, then disappeared into my room to read or draw, locking the pain deep inside. One chilly October afternoon, as the leaves turned gold and crimson, I was on my way home. I pulled my worn jacket tighter around me. That day had been especially bad. Derek had shoved me in the cafeteria, sending my lunch tray flying, their laughter still ringing in my ears. As I crossed the intersection of Oak and Cedar Street, a sharp pain shot through my chest. My vision blurred, my knees gave out. I collapsed on the sidewalk, my backpack flying open, books spilling everywhere. Passers-by rushed to help, but my world slowly faded into darkness. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't on the sidewalk anymore. I was in a place vast yet familiar, bathed in a soft golden light that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The air was gentle, like a breeze carrying the scent of spring flowers. The chest pain was gone, no more heaviness. I looked down, expecting to see my familiar frail form, but instead I felt strong, whole. I began to feel confused and looked around, and then I saw him. A figure appeared before me, radiant yet familiar, dressed in a simple white robe that shimmered softly. His face was kind, and his eyes held a depth that seemed to contain every story ever told. This was not the image of Jesus I had seen in the old Bible at home or in dreams with glowing halos. This Jesus was different, a warm presence, a gentle smile that pierced deeply, as if he could see into every corner of my soul. "Ethan," he said, his voice soft but resonant, like a lullaby for the soul. "You've carried this burden for too long." I blinked, my throat tight. "Is this heaven? Am I dead?" Jesus smiled gently. "You are in a place in between, Ethan. Your heart has faltered, but your story is not over. Walk with me." We began walking, though there was no clear path, just light and endless peace. I wasn't afraid, only felt like I was returning somewhere. I glanced at Jesus, unsure where to start. Why am I here? Because you need to see clearly, he answered. You are hiding your pain. Speak it, Ethan. I hesitated. I had never told anyone, not even my mother, about the bullying. But here, under that compassionate gaze, the words spilled out. At school, there are some boys. Derek and his group. They pick on me every day, call me names, push me, make me feel worthless. Because I'm sick, because I'm weak. My voice cracked. I don't tell my mom because she's already so tired. I don't want to make her worry more. So I just endure it. Jesus listened, his eyes unchanged but full of empathy. When I finished, he nodded. You have been brave, Ethan. But bravery doesn't mean suffering in silence. Do you know why they hurt you? I shrugged, eyes on the ground. Because I'm weak. Because I'm different. Jesus stopped and turned to look at me directly. You are different, but not in the way they think. Your heart may be weak, but your spirit is strong. Their cruelty comes from their own pain and fear. They hurt others to feel powerful. But true strength is not found in hurting others. It's in daring to be yourself. I frowned. But how? I can't fight back. I can barely run. Strength isn't always in fists or speed, Jesus said. It lies in being honest with yourself. You've hidden in, not just from your mother, but from yourself. You're not meant to bear this alone. My eyes burned. But what can I do? They won't stop. Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder, a warmth spreading like sunlight through clouds. First, you must speak up. Tell an adult you trust, a teacher, your mother. They can't help if they don't know. Silence leaves shadows, but when you speak, you shine light on them. I thought of my mother, her weary smile, and felt guilt at the thought of worrying her more. But what if she can't take it? She's stronger than you think, Jesus replied. And so are you. You don't have to face this alone. There are people who care, teachers, counselors, friends. Find them. Don't isolate yourself. I nodded slowly, the weight of silence beginning to lift. But what about them? Derek and the others? Should I hate them? Jesus' eyes softened. Hate only poisons your heart, Ethan. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting them hurt you again. It means freeing yourself from the power of resentment. But you must also set boundaries. Don't stay silent when you're mistreated. Speak out. Not in anger, but in truth. I thought about that. Standing up without fighting back. Speaking without yelling. It sounded hard, but not impossible. What if I'm still scared? Jesus smiled. Fear is natural, but you are never alone. Pray, Ethan. Give your fear to me. I am always listening. And when you feel weak, remember, bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to act despite it. Jesus led me to another place, where I could see scenes from my life. I saw my mother sitting beside me, her eyes red with worry. I saw myself sitting alone in class, too afraid to look at anyone. And I saw Derek and his friends laughing at me. But this time, instead of feeling pain, I felt a new strength rising. Do you see? Jesus said, every hardship you faced is a chance for you to grow. This world is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. Seek support, open your heart to those who love you, and give me all your pain. I will always be here, listening and lifting you. I nodded, tears streaming down my face. What should I do now, Lord? You will return, Jesus said. Your heart still has a chance to keep beating, but this time, you will carry the strength I have given you. Be strong, resilient, and bold. Be yourself. Do not be afraid. And remember, no matter how harsh this world may be, I am always by your side. In that moment, I felt the pull of the real world returning, and Jesus' voice echoed one last time. Live bravely, Ethan. Be truly yourself. I am always with you. The warmth of his presence still lingered as my consciousness returned to the stark white room of Willow Creek Hospital. The beeping of the heart monitor filled my ears, and my mother's tear-streaked face appeared above me, her hands gripping mine tightly. Ethan, oh thank God, she whispered. My chest ached dully, a faint reminder of my heart's fragility, but my mind was clear, my soul lit with a renewed sense of purpose. The doctors explained that I had suffered a heart arrhythmia while walking along the sidewalk at the intersection of Oak and Cedar Streets. A quick-thinking passerby had called 911, and the emergency team had resuscitated me in time. Lying in that hospital bed, I made a promise to myself. I would no longer hide. No more hiding my pain, no more hiding my fears, and no more hiding my dreams. That evening, with my mother sitting beside me, I took a deep breath and told her everything. About Derek and the bullying at Willow Creek Middle School, about the insults, the shoves, and the echoing laughter that haunted me. My mother's face tightened, a mix of guilt and relief crossing her expression. Why didn't you tell me? She asked, stroking my hair. I didn't want to worry you, I admitted, my voice quiet but firm. You've already had so much to deal with. She pulled me into a tight hug, her tears soaking into my hospital gown. You're my whole world, Ethan. We'll face this together, okay? A week later, when I returned to school at 305 Maple Avenue, I brought with me a new determination. My heart still fluttered at times, and I moved cautiously, but my steps were steadier, my gaze more resolute. At school, I approached Ms. Thompson, my homeroom teacher, and told her the whole story about the bullying. She and Mr. Rivera, the school counselor, arranged a meeting with Principal Jenkins. Derek and his group were called in, and I was asked to share my experience. Inspired by my encounter with Jesus, I quietly began to share my story. I wrote a short essay for the school paper titled The Strength Within. The piece resonated with many students, and a few quietly reached out to me, opening up about their own struggles with bullying or loneliness. I listened, offered what advice I could, and connected them with Mr. Rivera. I realized that my pain hadn't been meaningless. It had given me the ability to understand others.